Hello everyone, this is Jorge Diaz, President and Founder of Larry Jacob Internet Marketing, and I bring you another episode of Defining Infusionsoft Success. This week I have, now this is like SNL, right, a two-time guest host, Megan's been on the program before, her and I kind of go back a ways. Megan, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, Megan, last time we spoke, gosh, it was about a year back, and she had just launched a content creation toolkit. And I'm sorry if I'm not underrepresenting what it is. But since the beginning of the year, I'm getting her announcements. And I'm like a funnel junkie, so I like sign up for people stuff, and I don't just like watch them, I like study them. And clearly she's come a long way. There's a lot of detail in there. And a lot of my customers who are membership site builders can really use this because it's so difficult to get this content out there, and that's why I thought it'd be great to have a conversation with you.
Thank you, I'm excited.
Right, so you now have the online course, and I'm reading it here because I don't want to mess it up. You have the online course Academy, converting your expertise into an online course.
Correct, yeah, so up until recently, we've mainly been focusing on done-for-you services, and I've taken my own advice and created an online course to help people that maybe they want to learn the process on their own, or they can't quite afford or don't have the budget to hire a design agency to develop and design their course. So that program pretty much walks you through the entire process of creating the content to launching.
Yeah, and I will tell you, if you want to see a really well done sales funnel with super high quality videos, look at Megan's stuff because she practiced what she teaches, because the quality of her content is just out of this world. So walk us through what it is. So I'm either someone who's building a course using expertise they have, or maybe I'm a consultant and I'm on stage presenting this at hotel rooms, whatever. What do you do?
So my primary clients, they're not people that they don't have an idea yet. It's someone that has some type of systematic or methodology that they're teaching, but it doesn't necessarily have to be online at this time. So whether you're an author, speaker, coach, consultant, and maybe you're doing everything one-on-one at live events or workshops or seminars, or you could have like a mix between the two, but they're really wanting to grow the online side of the business and turning that live event or live seminar or live workshop into a digital version of it. So whether it's a membership site or an online course.
Right, and what do you find the drivers? Is it better leverage themselves? Or I mean, what do you typically find these folks are looking to get done?
Well, I mean, number one is people, they want that dream of, and I'm not going to say passive income, but leverageable income.
Sure.
So it's no longer required on trading time for money. After you do the work up front, it runs like you have a long-term business asset. It brings in money now and for years and years to come. So that's the first one. The second, so that sometimes I think people underestimate it, is that this digital version of it is a great way to get people into your sales funnel and get that build an initial relationship with your customers. So if you're selling like a high-end coaching or consulting implementation package on the back end, people might not be willing to just go down $20,000 yet until you've kind of proven not your worth, but right. In the sense, yeah, your worth.
No, well, they've got to meet. It's kind of that courting process. Do I walk into a bar and ask the girl home with me? Sorry, that's kind of, no, you got to buy them a drink. It's kind of like that get to know you phase. And you're saying that it could be that the course is almost part of your sales funnel, right?
Yeah, so there's different options. Some people have it, that's what they want to be their main revenue stream and their main driver in their business. Others, it's a part of a bigger picture. So this is part of your sales funnel, and this is that initial entryway into whether it's a mastermind or implementation or coaching or consulting program. And the third thing that I think a lot of people don't think about, or maybe they do, but just really the importance of bringing in some type of leverageable product or service, even if it's just a low pricing on the front end, because the people that win in business are the ones that are able to spend the most to please their customer. And if you look at two companies that are like equal side by side, and one only is offering service-based products or program or service offering, and the other has something that they can put on the front end to basically pay for that paid advertisement. So the people that purchase that initial, whether it's course or program or template, that pays for that advertisement, and you can basically scale up as much as you want because you have the money coming in to break even there at least.
Yeah, it's almost like you never have to think of your marketing budget because it's sustainable, right?
Yeah, so if you have two companies that are equal in every other aspect, but one has that break-even point where they can scale their marketing and spend as much as they want, basically, who's going to win? It's going to be that person.
Right. I would think a lot of people are also thinking, gosh, this travel's getting a little old. I know we have one client who's, preparing for retirement, and it's kind of like, it'd be nice not to have to be on the road 3 weekends a month, and so he's seeing that as a way to transition into something that's.
Yeah, you don't want to think about this, but like, you should ask yourself, if I was to get sick, or if something was to happen to me and I couldn't work for 2 months, would my business make it? And most people, the answer is going to be no, unless you've built a really solid team and you're in that scale-up mode and you have the business running itself. You're pretty screwed at that point.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and so it's safety. It's just, I don't know, it just makes sense.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's probably your average, solopreneur, entrepreneur that hasn't gotten to that point in their business yet. So I'm sold, and now I found your program. What is it that it's going to help me do?
Well, I think that one of the biggest challenges is people fall victim to what's called the expert's curse, and you forget what it was like to be a newbie, or how to synthesize what you know in your information, like everything that you have in your head. So you've acquired all this knowledge and wisdom and expertise throughout the years. Now, how do you teach it to someone? Because there's a very big difference between knowing something very well and being able to teach it.
Sure.
And then just to add like more complexity to the process, you also have to get your customers to implement what is taught. So I think that the people that win in this game are the ones that are able to get the results to their customers. So you really have to be strategic in how you're teaching and presenting this information, and always have that in the back of your mind that this is the goal of this is to get my customers to that end result and deliver on the promise that I'm saying that this course or program or product will deliver.
Gotcha. So I'm pushing them, I'm motivating them, because I guess if I went through your program and I spent, a good amount of money, and then I get to the end and I go, it was well taught, but I was never able to really finish it, implement it, whatever. A lot of people will be honest and admit it wasn't Megan's fault, it was my fault because I didn't follow through. But in the back of their mind, it's like, hey, would you refer Megan? It's like, well, I might. Right? So you're trying to avoid that.
Right. So, I mean, you can't force someone to do something. Like, it's up to them. But as the expert and the course creator, there's a lot that you can do to make it more likely that they will follow through and encourage and motivate and keep your users engaged. So that first comes down to the content that you're actually creating and structuring it in a specific way that guides them through this process, as well as implementing things like with Infusionsoft and Memberium and plus this to really make it an engaging experience and make people want to come back to consume that content.
Okay, so can you give me some for instances?
Yeah, so one thing that I started doing recently is, with my course, is having bonuses or special videos or templates that are locked in the course. And the only way to get access to that locked bonus is to watch the videos or complete a module or show up to a live webinar. So you have to think, so what are the things that you want them to do, or what do they need to do in order to be likely to reach that end goal, and then how can you, almost reward them for doing that. So that's one of my favorite things to do right now is using Memberium and plus this, like video triggers. So it tags them every time they watch the video, or the math feature, so you can then give them 10 points for each video they watch, and once they get 100 points, they get this video locked or unlocked.
Yeah, and it's interesting how something as simple as that will actually motivate. I mean, it won't motivate everybody, but it'll motivate a lot of people.
It is crazy. It's crazy. Like even myself. So a lot of live events now, if you've been going to them, but whether they're conferences or seminars, or I know Traffic and Conversion Digital Marketer does this, but they gamify their event, and you get badges for commenting the most, or tweeting, or posting pictures, and then there's a leaderboard, and you can see like all the points you have, and I'm so competitive that I want to be on that leaderboard.
Yeah.
So I think most people, especially entrepreneurs, are competitive as well. So leaderboards are freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm a part of the Infusionsoft Green Room, which is it's their gamified site. And, I'm a blogger, so I started, as part of my marketing strategy is I'm blogging. And, I'm just kind of in there and I'm looking at their leaderboard and I'm on the leaderboard. And I'm going, top 10. And I'm going, well, that's pretty cool. And so I started digging in. It's like, okay, how did I get on the leaderboard? And they probably told me, I missed the email or I didn't pay attention. And now it's kind of like, you know what? Let me see if I stay up there. If I see myself dripping down, I actually will write another couple articles or something. And it's kind of stupid, but it's just interesting how you take something that I'm doing in the privacy of my computer, boring, whatever, and you add a social aspect to it that makes something just stupidly more interesting and more motivating. And it's just interesting, the psychology behind a lot of these things.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's like, it doesn't matter how stupid it is or if it seems dumb. What I teach throughout Online Courses Academy is you're really trying to tap into basic human psychology, because that's never going to change. Like, maybe it will evolve at some point, but we all have certain needs and drivers that encourage us and motivate us to take action. And whether that's curiosity or social recognition and the need for love and affection and community, you're really tapping into those things. So when we want to be on that leaderboard, what is it that what need is that solving for us? Well, it's recognition, it's social proof, it's just really deep down core emotions that we have and why we want to be on there.
Right. Okay, so definitely leaderboards. The bonuses, because that's not usually in a public forum. That's more like, yes, I got the bonus. And, again, the bonus has to be bait enough to motivate people. It's like, oh, so I'll get this thing for free because I did this other thing. Because Digital Marketer does that with their badges, right? It used to be where you just attend the course. And I'm sure if you're in chapter, 36 of 38, it's kind of like, well, I'm already done. Forget, I'm not going to finish the other two. But it's like, I finished two more. Now I get the badge and I can wear the certification. So for them, that makes sense. And it's the same exact material. I'm sure that's updated, but I'm sure that makes a huge difference for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the badges then serve as a marketing tool for a digital marketer. It's one of the most powerful things, because now they have a whole freaking marketing army of people that are putting their badge on their website, and it's all driving back to digital marketers' site.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely ingenious.
Yeah. It's kind of a self-fulfilling kind of thing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Cool. So let's say I've been through this. The goal is, I'm assuming you have to shorten your content, or the pacing of your content, right? That's got to be a big part of what you're training people to do, right?
Yes, I think the biggest mistake people make is they look at their content or they approach it as asking themselves, what's everything I know on this topic that I can teach? And that's such the wrong way of going about doing this, because what you end up is just with this overinflated encyclopedia of information, and people don't want information. Like, we're completely drowning in it. You can get as much information as you want by doing a Google search. What people want is a systematic step-by-step process that if they follow it, they know they'll get to that end result. And they want it done in the shortest period of time because we're busy. So more is not better. And this is the first lesson to take away. Just adding more content is actually a negative and a downfall. But it also there has to be a method to the madness and a reason why you're creating the content that you're creating. So I always like to start with, what are the actions that my customer needs to take in order to reach the desired outcome? Because the only reason someone's paying you is because you're solving a need that's unmet currently. So what do they need to do in order to meet that need? And then what content can I create and what information do they need to know in order to take those actions? That's a totally different way, like there's a mind shift that you need to make, and it will just make the content so much better.
Right, and I think it's interesting because if I go to a 2-day seminar run at a hotel, and usually it's kind of like 2 sessions in the morning, 2, maybe 3 in the afternoon, and I do that 2 days over. A lot of people will likely leave that going, hey, that was worth the money because I got a good experience out of it. And it's almost like they're detached from, okay, I went home 6 months later and haven't implemented anything. But no one typically blames the seminar guy.
Yeah.
And it's very different online because in online it's kind of like, well, I spent all this money on this thing and I didn't get the results. And it's interesting how the same content in a different media, is just perceived very differently.
Yeah. So there's things that you just have to implement in order. So sending the email reminders, like with the video triggers, they watch half the video but they didn't finish. So sending that email like 2 days, hey, I saw that you're at this point in the video, start watching it again. And when I buy courses that do that, a lot of times I'll click on it right then and start finishing watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that and I got distracted.
Yeah. So you start the chase sequences that follow up on people. It's kind of like, hey, in the last 25% of the video, we really covered this one topic that you would have missed. Why don't you, click here to continue? So it's almost like you're keeping people in there. I tell you what, even if I went through a course that was that, annoying, for lack of a better word, I probably would say, okay, they really did their part to keep me going through, and I'm the one that dropped the ball. I would still refer them, even if I didn't get the results, because it almost seemed like they weren't just out to sell me. They were out there to try to get me to learn what I was supposed to learn.
And then a lot of people, if they're thinking, well, what's the point? They already paid for it. What does it really matter? Well, if someone gets results in your program, how much more likely are they going to be to purchase from you again? And when you can really maximize the customer lifetime value, that's when you take your business to a whole other level. So if someone purchased a program and they didn't implement it, it's their fault they didn't implement it, but whatever. Even if it's their fault, they're still going to be not as likely to purchase from you again, whether it's another product or a mastermind or whatever it may be. But if they are, there's a lot more of a chance they will purchase, plus refer.
Yeah, well, and the referrals too, because it's kind of like, well, they were pretty good, but when someone asks you, well, did it change the way you did it? It's like, well, not really, because I didn't spend the time, and then the referral just doesn't carry the same amount of weight.
Right.
So interesting. Well, Megan, thank you so much, and by the way, I'm seeing like a little leash behind you. So
yeah.
So the puppy, the puppy's getting. She's kind of the guest host as well. This time and on the last one. Yeah. There you go.
She comes to work with me every day.
Cool. So thank you so much. When we publish this, I'm going to publish a link where they can kind of learn more about your program.
I have a follow-through challenge, so it's very fitting for what we're talking about today. But
right.
See some of these in practice.
No, right. And by the way, I like that. The online course creation follow-through challenge. Not that we wouldn't follow through without you, but it's kind of nice to know that you're doing that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.